Hello and welcome to Quays News. I'm Lewis Evans.
And I'm Freddie Beckett. Here's what's coming up on today's programme.
We are in the holy month of Ramadan.
And Molly went to find out how this affects athletes.
Some of us spent an hour and a half standing in the prayer, doing all these praying movements as well. And you have to have quite a bit of endurance to be able to do that every single night for 30 days.
Transport for Greater Manchester have announced a new cycling initiative called Active Travel.
Hoping to create a fitter Manchester, Catherine tells us more about the project.
I'll be here in the studio discussing all kinds of sports, including the Winter Paralympics later on.
And we'll find out what World Book Day means to you. Yes, and welcome to the 4 o'clock Quays News programme. First, The Wreck. A community hub in Salford is bringing a local community together whilst tackling the effects of poverty in the area.
From offering free fitness classes, stay-and-play sessions and even pro wrestling shows, Maisie Dennison has more.
The Wreck is a non-profit community centre based in East Salford, with aims of being the self-proclaimed modern-day biker grove, tackling serious issues whilst breaking down barriers and making activities like fitness more accessible to people in the area. I spoke to the manager of the Wreck, Nick Burke, to find out more about what they have going on.
We do different things throughout the week, so things to tackle poverty in the area, so employability courses, direct tackling poverty, so things like breakfast clubs, stuff like that. We have different groups throughout the week. We have a fully equipped gym, so we'll do things like recovery-based fitness. We do a men's group twice a week called Buddy Builders, which is a men's workout group. We all work out together. What we try to do is remove as many barriers to entry as possible. Again, we allow young toddlers to come in the class. We set up a little playpen. We don't charge any money. The classes themselves are structured so that it's not versus each other.
Despite not categorising themselves as a recovery centre, they do work closely with Achieve Salford Recovery Services to signpost and aid people where they can.
Our last survey, I believe it was 73% of anybody over the age of 18 that accesses our services would class themselves as members of the recovery community. Although recovery isn't the community is the people we're trying to serve, but we have strong links with the recovery community. And again, it's the area of high deprivation, so drugs, alcohol, things like that are going to affect local people. So being informed by that also helps us.
The free classes held here allow a space for people of all backgrounds and circumstances to come together.
I've got a toddler, so I didn't really have chance to do anything. I wasn't really anything fitness focused before, but then obviously after I had the baby I was a bit unhappy with myself. I didn't really know anyone because I wasn't from around here, so it's nice to meet people, and it's just generally nice having that positive effect on mental health, because exercise was something that I never did ever in my life, and now it's had such a positive impact. And it's a safe space.
With many exciting things on the horizon, like a skate park, a garden and even concerts, it's safe to say you should keep your eyes peeled for the future. Maisie Dennison, Quays News.
As the sun sets, communities around the world prepare to break their fast. Ramadan remains a time for reflection and bringing people together.
Our reporter Maram has been speaking to members of the community about how they mark iftar and why this moment of breaking the fast is so meaningful during Ramadan.
A grand dinner, also referred to by the Muslim community as the Grand Iftar, was organised by the Islamic Society in honour of Ramadan. Team members worked really hard together, although they were also fasting, to prepare the place for people before they arrived to break their fast. There was a lot of unboxing for the table decorations and other things prior to the event. Here you can see a Ramadan Mubarak banner is being worked on. They covered tables up before decorating over it. Then they cut it to the size of the table and taped it to hold it still in place. At this point, it was time for table decorations. A lot of thought was put into this, even on the smallest details. They unboxed everything and unwrapped the covers and spread it on the tables, placed mini vases on the tables, then filled them up with water, then added a small candle in between each vase and placed a flower inside each vase. And they added a candle stand to add a different style of candles on it. The mic testing was also being done, and the last two tables on the men's side were nearly done. At this point, food has arrived and plates are now being placed on tables. Small soup plates too, as well as cups, and brownies are being served as a sweet treat. Spoons and water, and they also provide tissues on both sides. That's on the men's side and that's on the women's side. Dates, which is one of the most important things, as it is traditionally what they start off with as soon as they break their fast, or it can be water. And at this point, people started arriving and sitting, and here members of the team are welcoming people and VIP guests. And before we all broke our fast, we had a welcoming speech from the president.
Welcome to every single one of you guys here tonight.
And a motivational speech from the founder of Manos. And we listened to a beautiful recitation of the Quran from someone who learnt it in Egypt before we broke our fast. And a couple more. And now it was time to break our fast. People queued up to get their food. As you can see, it was very busy. So I spoke to one of the attendees at the event to get people's opinions on the event and food.
I think it's a great event to bring the Muslim community together. The food was great, so that's a big plus too.
And I also wanted to find out more about the purpose of this event.
The purpose of the event was to bring people together. It's an iftar. It had representatives from the University of Manchester, from MMU, from BOSIS, up and down the UK.
That brings us to the end of this event, and to everyone celebrating Ramadan this year, Ramadan Mubarak to you all.
As the saying goes, once you learn how to ride a bike, you will never forget. But learning how to cycle through Greater Manchester or starting to cycle can be a very tricky ride.
And that's where Transport for Greater Manchester intervenes. Our reporter, Catherine Monk, has more.
47% of residents say they cycled at least once during 2024. The same number who agree that Manchester is becoming friendlier to walking and cycling.
So we tend to deliver to about 2,000 to 3,000 people a year.
Transport for Greater Manchester cycling lessons are part of a wider goal for GM to have 50% of journeys done by public transport by 2040.
From a cycling point of view, it doesn't cost anything, it's healthy at the same time, it's really convenient because you can decide where you go, when you get off, it's very flexible, but then we do appreciate that it isn't for everyone.
Manchester recorded 500 casualties involving cyclists between 2024 and 25. Overall, cycling is safer than other modes of transport, but it is important to know how to properly ride in the city.
What are the main things that you're teaching?
The basic routines and habits of what you should be doing to keep safe, like quite basic stuff like looking behind. Also explaining road positioning and your viability as traffic on the road. So you're as much as right to be on there as a car. You're allowed the same space as a car, and how that positioning, different road positions can help you navigate different situations when you need the space, basically. Yeah.
Talked to the instructors actually about what I should do next, and they recommended confidence lessons, which I do feel like I lacked in this session. So,
this was my first time riding in 11 years, and I wasn't the only one who hadn't cycled in a while. And for those like me, here's some advice. What are the key things that you would want them to know?
I think the first one is probably don't be afraid. Like, we get lots of people who contact us who are scared that they're going to be embarrassed, that they're going to be the only one who doesn't know what they're doing. Like, everyone who goes along is there to learn how to cycle.
A mural created ahead of the Brit Awards in Manchester could soon be painted over again.
A collective of local artists say they want to turn the wall into a fresh canvas for the city's street art centre. Neela reports.
A mural mural created in Manchester ahead of the Brit Awards could soon disappear again. Local artists say they want to repaint the wall now the ceremony is over, turning it into what they describe as a fresh canvas for the city's street art scene.
The mural appeared on Ducie Street ahead of the Brit Awards, which were held in Manchester last week. It formed part of a wider art trial celebrating the music event across the city. But the artwork sparked criticism after it replaced an earlier mural created in collaboration with artists who had experienced homelessness. Now a group of Manchester artists say they want to paint over the mural once again. Liam Haley from the creative agency Heads has asked the building owners for permission to repaint the wall with what he describes as a high-quality black finish. We asked people in Manchester what they think should happen to the wall now the Brit Awards are over.
I definitely think it should stay. I mean, there's a lot of people, we're not actually from Manchester, so there's a lot of people that might not have seen it yet. It's an incredible piece of art, so I think it should stay for now. I think while it's relevant, I do think that in future, you know, there's going to be more artwork that can probably be here that will be more relevant now. Keeping it fresh as well, because it'll make sure that people actually come and view the artwork rather than just think it's something that's been left from years before. So we're not from here, but we do visit, but we're originally from Birmingham, and street art is massive in Birmingham as well. I think it's something cultural that's not easy to do. Obviously it takes a lot of work, but it can be constantly changed and relevant to what's going on.
I think it's already really great. Normally street art is quite important because it represents the vision of the citizens, so yeah.
I have no idea, I guess redesign it, repaint it.
Whether the mural stays or is painted over again, the debate highlights how public art in Manchester continues to evolve. Neela Ramsage, Quays News.
Thanks, Neela. But now it's time to take a look towards sport as we hand over to our sports editor, Amelia. Amelia, the Formula 1 season starts this weekend, doesn't it?
Yep, the first race of the 2026 F1 season is this Sunday at Albert Park in Melbourne, Australia. But due to new rules and regulations, this season might look a little different to what fans are used to. Cars are now smaller, lighter and more environmentally friendly, with engines that have a near 50-50 split between electric and internal combustion power and use fully sustainable fuels. Drag reduction system no longer exists because of active aero, which allows both the rear and front wings to adjust to angles on the straights. It has been replaced with overtake mode, which gives drivers a burst of extra electric energy when they are within 1 second of the car ahead, when they're at a certain detection point, which is usually the final corner. Tyres are also narrower due to a reduced contact patch. There were mixed opinions on the new cars and regulations over the 6 days of testing in Bahrain in February, so we will see how the weekend pans out.
Sounds very complicated, but is there anything new about the teams?
Yes, Kick Sauber has changed to Audi, though their lineup of drivers is the same as the 2025 season with Hülkenberg and Bortoleto. As well as this, Cadillac, an 11th team, is new to the grid, with 2 drivers we know well, Bottas and Perez. And stepping up from Formula 2 to join Racing Bull's Arvid Lindblad is the only rookie of the season. Who do you think will be world champion this year?
I think it'll be Oscar Piastri. I mean, I'd go for Isaac Hadjar, but is there anything else happening in sports this weekend?
The Winter Paralympics are already underway. Wheelchair curling began yesterday to accommodate the round-robin format. Unfortunately, Team GB fell at the first hurdle this morning as they lost to South Korea. This is the 50th anniversary of the Winter Paralympic Games, and it's the first time since 2010 that the opening and closing ceremonies are held at different venues. The opening ceremony will be on March 6th at the Verona Arena, historian Roman amphitheatre, and the closing ceremony will be held on the 15th of March at the Cortina Olympic Ice Stadium. The Games will feature 665 athletes competing in 79 medal events across 6 sports, including para-alpine skiing, para-ice hockey and para-snowboarding.
I absolutely love the Winter Paralympics. I'm looking forward to the para cross-country skiing. Is there anything else you can tell us about sports?
Manchester Thunder are currently 6th in the Netball Super League after losing against London Pulse in their last game. Their next game is on the 7th at Bellevue Arena against London Mavericks, who are 5th in the table, so best of luck to them. And Manchester Storm ice hockey team have a match against Dundee Stars tomorrow evening at Planet Ice in Altrincham. They lost their last game 2-4 to Glasgow Clan and are currently 5th on the league table. Well, that's all for all the sports news I have for today. Thanks for having me in the studio.
And finally, we are in the holy month of Ramadan.
This means that many Muslims will be adapting their lifestyle around this period, and for athletes with busy schedules, this time poses extra challenges for them.
Our reporter Molly went to find out more.
For Muslim athletes, they have to consider how to slow down and take a different approach.
During Ramadan, I reduced the weight, I reduced intensity. It's more kind of maybe working on the form. So if it's Taekwondo, it would be working on different patterns and breaking them down, working on the technique. I don't tend to push myself because we are conscious that obviously the body does not function the same way. So it's kind of a nice way to kind of look at things a bit differently. We have a different routine, to be honest, during Ramadan. So many of us still work. Obviously, many go still to the office or take the children to school, etc. So life has to continue, obviously. But in the evening, we have a lot of activities and events in the mosque and in homes. We break fast at each other's homes, or we go to the mosque for it. There are a lot of prayers at night. So yeah, there's definitely that strong bond. And for some of them, to be honest, they spend an hour and a half. I mean, some of us spend an hour and a half standing in the prayer, doing all these praying movements as well. And this, you have to have quite a bit of endurance to be able to do that every single night for 30 days.
For working university students, this takes dedication to balance such a busy schedule.
So I'll wake up like around 4:30, just before sunrise. Then obviously can't eat and drink for the rest of the day. Go to uni around 11 o'clock. Maybe train for a little bit and do some revision or coursework. About 5:30 or 6, and then eat and drink again, then break my fast at sunset. Then have team training around 8 to 10 p.m.
As fasting prevents drinking and eating, this makes workouts even harder to fuel.
I think food isn't really a problem. People don't have breakfast to eat till like 2, 3 p.m. anyways, and wait till 5:30, 6 is okay. It's mainly the water, and obviously trying to be a better person, so try not to swear, trying to be nice and kind to people, doing lots of good deeds.
Molly Gunn, Quays News.
Today marks World Book Day. Celebrated around the globe, many will remember going to school dressed up as their favourite characters and redeeming their £1 book tokens.
Our reporter Sophie has been out on the town at the libraries and bookshops to find out more.
It's World Book Day, a day that celebrates creativity and imagination. Many use reading as a form of escapism, so I'm here in Manchester to find out what they think.
With World Book Day being today, I chose to go to a bookshop located in the Northern Quarter named the House of Books and Friends, and I spoke to the manager of the store, Naomi, to get a further insight.
Bookshops are really important for so many different cultural reasons. They enrich our city various different ways. I mean, our bookshop in particular, we're a not-for-profit, so we're a community interest company, so all the money we make has to go back into the social mission, which is to try and prevent loneliness and social isolation. So from our point of view individually, we have so many people who enjoy the fact that we're here and we're a place to connect with other people on books, us on books, and yeah, that's why it's important for us, really. Well, reading is as social a hobby as you want to make it, really. Some people like to read alone in bed at night, and that's how they enjoy reading. Other people, they like to come to book events, book clubs, come in and chat to us about books in the shop. So yeah, reading can be as social a hobby as you like, and you can do anything with reading. You can read, for work, for non-fiction, to try and expand your working life.
Many see books as a way to connect with others in any way, shape or form, or perhaps even educate themselves. I spoke to members of the public to see what their thoughts were on the matter.
Well, they are becoming less and less, but I think it's important so that everyone has access to books, including children, including adults, maybe those who fall in between being children and older people.
On days like this, it is important to highlight the inclusivity that it brings to all, to show that reading is for everyone and that it should never be restricted.
Yes, it did, even though I'm dyslexic. Certainly it helped me start to be able to read, going to sort of back to The Lion, the Witch and the Royal Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis, etc. and all of that, so it is important, although I do still struggle reading.
Well,
Well, it's safe to say that World Book Day still remains as a staple on the streets of Manchester. I'm Sophie Coens, Quays News.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. It's time for me to go and enjoy, well, it's not really sunny, but the last bit of sun here in the Costa del Salford before the cloud and the rain rolls in overnight, dropping the temperature down to a chilling 9 degrees.
Well, you enjoy that now, Freddie. Thank you for joining us this afternoon, and we will see you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.